Welcome back to Your Road to Home, a podcast that takes you beyond your front door. Tune in with us and listen to some of Carbon Valley's finest, from business owners to local leaders and maybe even your neighbor. This podcast is great if you're moving to the area or you're a regular local, to help you learn how to love where you live. I'm Kendra Badgekar with LPT, here with
Maxine Carey of Guardian Mortgage.
Today we're picking up John Zamora, who's a local photographer and videographer. To say that he's a pro is an understatement. If you're looking to elevate your business on social media in any way, he is definitely your go-to resource. And we're super excited to share his story with you and see what he has to offer for the Carbon Valley.
Ooh, I'm excited to meet John. This is the first time I'm going to meet John. Hi, John.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing well. How about you?
Good. I'm Maxine.
Hi, Maxine.
Thanks for
Great to meet
joining
you.
us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You'll have to sit in the
Absolutely.
middle
Can I
so we
sit
can
here?
see your
Okay.
your smiling face and tell us your
I
story.
like your
Yes,
setup
yes.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. Just the seatbelt.
Not
There we
quite
go.
all the equipment that you're used to, but we make do here.
This is cool. This is cool. Okay.
All right.
All right, on the road.
Here
John,
we go.
thank you so much for being here with us today. We just introduced you to the Carbon Valley community, so
Awesome.
let's jump right in and get to know a little bit more about you. They know that you're a professional photographer and videographer, but
Okay.
who are you behind the scenes? Let's start there.
Yeah.
Like outside of being a photographer, videographer?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, outside of that, I don't have a whole lot of time. I'm a dad, new dad. My daughter Isabella is almost 2 now, so I spend a lot of time with her when I'm not working. And when I'm not working or spending time with Isabella, I'm trying to get out and go running.
Nice.
Not quite as much as I used to, but I'm trying to keep that going.
So you probably have a lot of pictures of Isabella.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. A lot. Yes. As many as I can get.
Of
I think I'm gonna be the dad who embarrasses her and takes my camera everywhere to everything she does.
I think that's every new parent. Honestly,
Yeah.
I still do that, and my oldest is about to be 10. So,
Yeah.
Good. That's good to know.
yep, she gives me the eye every time she gets up to bat in softball because my camera's right there. She's like,
Okay.
so yeah, keep it up. It's
Good.
totally fine.
Good. That makes me feel better.
That's awesome. What did you do before you got into photography?
Before photography, I worked at King Soopers. I was just like in management at King Soopers, and it was I did a kind of a lot. Like, so I was a supervisor on the floor for 3 days a week, and then I did their bookkeeping for one of the days, and then I wrote schedules for the other day. So like a little bit of everything.
Nice.
It was a comfortable job.
Sure.
And it's nice to have that. Like, I always thought it'd be really nice to have that just as a like a backup plan if this didn't work out, because there's King Soopers everywhere.
Right? That's a good point.
But I didn't feel fulfilled selling groceries, so that's why I made the jump to something else.
So what was it like taking the leap to being a business owner? And
Oh, terrifying.
Yeah.
It's still terrifying today, honestly. But I think it was harder because it was a good job. Like, I think if I had a job that I absolutely hated, it would have been easier.
Sure.
But just the uncertainty of like, okay, I'm leaving something that's actually pretty good, even though it might not be fulfilling to me. And then just, having a lot of friends and family who obviously I know they're on my side and they're rooting for me, but who are wondering like, why are you leaving something that's pretty good? So that was hard.
Yeah.
so did you do it part-time and still work at King Soopers, or did you just dive in?
I sort of did it very, very part-time before King Soopers, but it was really hard for me to just gradually increase it, just because King Soopers really took up all of my time.
Right.
Like when I was a supervisor on the floor, I had to close the store, so I was working till midnight, but then if I was doing the bookkeeping, then I needed to be at the store by 5 a.m., so the schedule was just not great for anything else that wasn't King Soopers. So
That's fair.
yeah, I kind of just made the leap not really knowing how it would look.
Man, that's awesome. What's something that you've learned the hard way that you wish you could go back and, like just hit that learning curve quicker that you could share with people?
I would say I wouldn't be so afraid to put myself out there and network with people and find people who can help me in certain areas that I am weak in.
Nice.
I first, so this is my 7th year now, and I would say for the first like 5 or so, I did everything pretty much all by myself, like a hermit. And now it's nice. I have not like a big group of people, or not anybody who I hire like full time or anything, but like a couple people who know kind of the way that I like to do things or edit things, and that can help me out when I bite off a little bit more than I can chew.
That's awesome.
So tell us about the kind of services that your company has.
Yeah, so I do photography and video.
Okay.
My main four is I do real estates, I do portraits, events, and then I do commercial stuff. So a little bit of everything. When I started out, all I did was portraits. I just specialized only in portraits, just because my budget wasn't very big, and portraits was like the lowest barrier to entry. You just need one camera and a so-so lens, and
Right.
you don't really need that great of a computer to edit them. And then I just like built up from there and was able to get the rest of the things I needed to do video and do the stuff that requires more equipment.
Nice. That's a good pro tip right there on how to get started.
Yes, start with portraits.
Yeah, very cool.
So you do real estate interior photos?
Yes.
Yeah. If
I
you've
don't
seen
usually get hired for photos, but I do them, yes.
if you've seen any of my cool recent listing videos recently, it's this guy shooting all of them. He's behind the scenes on all of them.
Nice.
Yep, it's been
It's
super
always
fun.
fun.
Always fun.
Always fun.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So you're now offering to teach classes because you've been doing this for so long. So tell us what you're doing with your portrait classes coming up and what the dates are for that.
Okay, yeah. So I'm doing it for the first time ever on this Sunday, the 30th, and you'll just learn how to. It can be anybody who just like wants to know how to use their camera on manual mode, for example, and then it goes all the way to like my main selling point is like by the end of it, you'll know how to light a portrait, how to compose it correctly, how to edit it, and how to send it to a client with like my step-by-step system that I use for all my paid stuff.
So do you need a camera for that, or can you just use your iPhone?
You would need I would say camera's more dynamic.
Okay.
I think you can still do it with a phone. Like a lot of advice that I give to beginners is that like you can use your phone and you can build out everything around your phone. You can get the lights and you can get the microphones, and the camera I think should be the last thing that you upgrade.
Okay.
Where most people, they upgrade that first, thinking that that'll give them like the next jump. So I would say like camera is preferable, but you can absolutely, like with the lighting that we're using, you can make it work with a phone.
Nice.
Okay. And we'll leave a link to register for that class.
Yes, we will.
It's coming up this Sunday, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I mean even all my steps to edit. I have like a little one-click preset, and that can be used on the phone as well. So
Nice.
it's kind of crazy. We feel like we're living in the future, but you can do it all on your phone.
Right? That's awesome. So is this a one-day workshop, or is this a series, or is this just something that you're going to start building on?
It's a one-day workshop.
Nice,
Yes,
okay.
I would like for it to become a regular thing. It's a lot of moving parts that I'm like figuring out
Sure.
on the fly, whether I know how to do certain things or not. But I'm super excited about it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that you're expanding into now teaching some workshops and stuff. That's super fun.
Yes.
So
yeah.
where did you learn to do this? Did you go to school for this? Or
I didn't.
You just
I went to school for psychology, so.
So this is all self-taught.
Yes,
That's
it's all
amazing.
self-taught. I watched a lot of YouTube. I still like try to commit to 30 minutes every day of just watching some tutorial somewhere of how to do something that I don't know how to do. But that's pretty much all self-taught.
That's brilliant. That's another great pro tip right there. Running your own business is staying on top of your education, staying on top of the trends. And,
Yes.
Because I can't even imagine with photography. I mean, even just the Instagram and TikTok trends alone that I see from the real estate side, not let alone
Yeah.
what you guys are doing behind the camera. I mean,
Oh,
that's a lot of information to stay on top of.
Yeah, and I feel like honestly, I mean, you have to be a good person and get along with people and all those types of things, but
Yeah.
first and foremost, like your skill just needs to be there. So I try to stay on top of that.
I have zero skill.
That's not true. You have a podcast.
Yeah.
I can help with
Yes,
that. I
but-
can help with
Yeah, and he can help with that.
I have a Kendra. That's so I'm able to do a podcast.
That's great.
Yeah.
The skill part, I think, is the easy part. Like,
Yeah, I definitely need your card after.
Awesome,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. If you need to take your business to the next level, John is your guy. He can help you get there.
I can help you take a good looking photo or video.
Yes, for sure.
That's awesome.
Where's the best place for people to find what you've done? Like, because you've done some really awesome commercials for coffee shops and things recently that I've seen that you've been posting to Instagram at least. But is that where you want people to follow you, or should they go to your website, or what's the best place?
I would say Instagram.
Instagram.
Yes, every other platform and website that I have is a little outdated, and when I look at it, I cringe a little bit. So I would say Instagram is the one I feel best about.
Okay, we'll make sure that we've got that tagged on here so you guys can go check it out and see what John has to offer. That's awesome.
Yes.
Man, so what inspired you to pick up the camera?
Man, see, that's a tough question when people ask me. I don't know if there was like one defining moment. I always liked cameras ever since I was little. I mean, just like a lot of people did, but
Yeah.
I did like cameras. I remember I'd like always read through, is when their manual books were like really thick and not online, so I just like spent all my time reading it and trying out the new thing in that camera that I learned from the book. And but I don't know, I think it was one of the first major purchases I remember making as a kid with all my chore money was like this Sony camera. It was like a 3 megapixel camera that was like this big, and it was the coolest thing ever to me.
That's awesome. So you've been taking photos since you were young. Like you've
Yes.
loved it since you were young.
Yes.
That's
Did you
cool.
learn how
Not
to
good
develop
photos.
photos?
No, I never did. I just started shooting film like maybe 3 months ago, just as a new thing that I wanted to try.
So it's always been still? Is
It's
that
always
what
been
you're
digital, yes.
saying? Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's cool.
Wow. Did you grow up in the Carbon Valley area?
A little bit. So I was born in Westminster and we moved around a lot, but I lived in the Carbon Valley area from 6th grade till 10th grade.
Okay.
So you moved on and like decided to live in the area. So tell us a little bit about your story there, like staying in the area, and
Yeah. Well, so my mom and dad just kept the house that we had here, and they were renting it, and didn't really go well like with the renters that they had, and so my wife and I decided to move over here, and
that's
hopefully
perfect.
it was a win-win for all of us.
So you're getting to raise Isabel in the house that you
Yes.
were raised in.
Yes.
That's so fun.
That is
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. So that is
that comes
very
full
cool.
circle, yeah.
Yes. It was a strange feeling at first, and now I'm like, it's growing on me.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What are some of your favorite things to do in the Carbon Valley?
That's a great question. It's so different now. Like when I lived here before, it was like there was nothing much going on here. I really wanted to see the Frederick in flight like pretty much every year since we moved back, and I've always missed it.
Did you see it this year?
I did not.
Oh
did
my gosh!
not.
I was just going to ask you, were you out taking pictures of the balloons?
No.
Did the
I've
balloons go
never
up?
actually
Both
taken
Saturday and
pictures.
Sunday they went up. Saturday and Sunday.
That is a rarity.
I wasn't there at Centennial Park, but you can see it really well from my neighborhood. So I walked my dog early in the morning, and there was like 15 balloons out each morning. It was kind of cool.
Okay.
All right. Next year you got to go. I'm gonna hold you to it.
Okay. I need to set like some Google reminders.
Right? That is a fun local event for sure. Frederick and Flight.
Yeah. The rec center is always solid. I enjoy
Yes.
the rec center.
Yes.
Isabella has swimming lessons there now.
Oh, that's so
She
fun.
likes it.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. All right, let's switch and get a little technical here.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about what your video style can do to help businesses grow on social media, because I know
Okay.
from working with you myself, my social media has definitely grown tremendously with getting better views, getting better click rates. I know this might be over some
Okay,
people's
that's
heads a little
awesome.
bit, but I know that there's also some business owners out there that are looking for this information. So can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Well, that's
What's your
great to
experiences
hear
with that?
first off. Yeah. But I would say it's kind of hard to I think there's like a fine line between having a video that's noticeably better than like a cell phone video or something that's shot by somebody who's not a professional, but you also don't want to go too far to the point where it looks like an ad, because like the very second, at least for me, that I see something that looks like an ad, whether it is or it isn't, like I'm already discrediting anything that person is saying. I might be like swiping. So for me, I would say like my main priority is the story, where it doesn't need to be like some elaborate like 90-minute movie plot or anything like that. But if you have I try to stick to like a 3-act narrative. So like the setup, conflict resolution, or instead of conflict, it could just be the action. So like for real estate, our setup is just saying where we are, and then the action is just the tour through the home, and then the resolution just like for somebody who was blown away by the video and was ready to take action. You let them know what to do.
Nice.
But something like that, I think, is a good balance between like not quite being an ad, because you're being relatable enough to the person through telling a story, and but it's also better than like, say, just 8 random slow motion shots put together that was shot on an iPhone.
Yeah, that's good advice. I like that.
But yeah, I would say just trying my best to stay on that little fine line of doing something that's a little bit better, but not quite too salesy.
Right. Fair enough.
So you like mentor people through all these where they can kind of take over at some point, or
for their
video?
I haven't mentored. I guess like there have been people who've asked me for something like that in like return for them, helping me out with certain things.
Yeah, but like I could buy a package maybe for like 5 or 10 videos, and then after that, hopefully I can figure it out.
Yes, I would say that eventually the people that I work with start to get a feel for it, and are able to, I guess, put together that story or a script that they know has been working.
That's cool. Okay.
That's cool. If you could pick anything to shoot for the rest of your career, what would it be?
Oh man, that's very hard.
Can you pick 2? Can you narrow it down to 2?
Real estate for Kendra Badger, right?
You have to keep doing real estate for Kendra, but
besides that, of course, I would say I would just go back to where I started and do portraits.
Nice.
I think it's the most pure form of photography. Just a portrait, and honestly, I think portraits are where I felt the most free. Just one camera, one lens. You don't even need. You can do it with natural light only. So you don't have a whole lot of gear weighing you down. So I just have a soft spot for portraits.
That's cool. That's awesome. Very cool. So do you do senior portraits?
I do.
All the moms in the area?
I've done senior portraits, yes. Not a whole lot, surprisingly, but yes, I have.
Did you work on your newborn portraits while you had Isabella?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Good to know.
I have lots of practice with Isabella.
Okay. I'm going to be calling you in November then for that time too.
Okay. I'm experienced from the age 0 to almost 2 now.
There we go. All right.
My son needs a hedge or a professional photo, but it's the hockey playoffs, so he's like facial hair and hasn't cut head.
I see.
So I'm like, can you? He's like, I can just do it, and I'm like, no, you cannot.
Some things you cannot edit.
Yeah. I'm like, you need.
I wouldn't be able to Photoshop that one.
Yeah. Yes. Anyway.
That's too funny. All right. Well.
Rapid fire, Kendra. Rapid fire.
All right. Yeah. So at the end of each one of our episodes, we do some rapid fire questions to get to know you on a deeper level. Are you a book reader or a podcast listener?
Podcast listener.
What's one of your favorite podcasts you've listened to?
The Rich Roll podcast. I don't know if you've heard of it. Yeah, he's like an ultra marathoner, but he was a super unhealthy lifestyle, and he went to the hospital because I think he had a heart attack or some heart-related event, and he decided to totally change his life and started running ultra marathons and lost a ton of weight and just got really healthy overall. So he just talks to anybody, because it's a pretty big podcast, but it used to be like super running and health related stuff.
Are you going to run a marathon?
What was that?
Are you a marathon runner?
Yes. Well, I've ran 2. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I love saying that.
But
You loved it enough to do it twice,
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
I think I might have a third one in me, but that might be it.
Okay.
All right. Awesome.
Very good. What's your favorite restaurant here in the Carbon Valley?
Ooh. I just went to Georgia Boys Barbecue for the first time. They were really good.
Just now for the first time?
Yes.
Oh man.
I know.
They are really
I'm not great at going to restaurants and local.
Did you get there
Food
early enough to
places.
try the burnt ends?
No, I did not.
All right.
I've heard those are great though.
You got to get back for those. Those are great.
Okay,
That's a good choice.
I'll have to. Yeah, I love barbecue. They were great.
Right? What's your favorite thing to do on the weekends when you're not working?
Honestly, just spending time with Isabella, whatever we're doing. I love running with her. We have like a running stroller, and she just sits in there and chills and says hi to people as we go by.
That's awesome.
That's a lot of fun.
That's super cute.
That is so cute.
Do you have any pets?
I do. 2 dogs.
2 dogs? Okay.
2 little Shih Tzus.
Cute.
So they're great.
So no fish for Isabella for her first pet.
Now for her first pet at least. We'll see how it goes with the dogs.
Yeah, got it.
That's funny.
Awesome. Well, everyone, that is. Did I just cut you off?
No.
Okay.
Nope. I mean, I'll do rapid fire all day, but we can wrap it up whenever.
Well, and we really should ask him if he's like a 80s music or 90s music.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Were you alive in the 80s?
I was not.
Okay.
Well,
You can still
probably
choose it if
90s.
you
But
want.
but do you like the music?
I would say 90s.
90s.
You say
Okay.
90s?
That's
Yes.
fair.
Okay.
I have a little bias though.
That's fair.
That's awesome. Thanks everyone for joining us on your road to home. Just remember, your home is more than a real estate transaction. It's the community that you build around you. Until next time, love where you live.
Bye
Bye for now.